morning, everyone. Well, here we are. It's Saturday, the 19th of May. We're finally getting started on something constructive. On the 57th. Doing the first patch of the frame. Hello. Hello. Up in here, where the clutch, what do you call that, cross shaft, I guess, used to mount or something. Somebody took the original bracket off. They like ripped it off.
Yeah, here's
So this is the first patch. Here we go. Oh yeah, there it is. That's what we took out of the frame. That's the hole they left. Anyway, we're starting with that. More later. Okay, well, our method here is to put the motor in the chassis using the original mounts. That will locate the motor, so then from that we can, that'll place the new motor mounts. We're putting the side mounts that we had here, you see. So by placing the motor where the factory would have put it using the old mounts, it allows us to locate precisely where the new mounts need to go, like that. And then we're doing that. I mean, that's also going to allow us to do the rear to the transmission mount. So right now we're filling holes in the frame. I don't know if you can see. There you go. Filling holes in the frame. Come on, focus. Not filling them all. We're doing all the little ones. The ones for the gas line and the brake lines. Where they had these things bolted, like right here. They had them bolted in there before and they were pinching the side rails together. So anyway, that's where we're at. Hey, you're not in focus. Oh, light. It's focusing on the light behind you.
I'm rarely in focus.
Yeah, rarely have any light. I know.
No, I'm in
All right.
focus.
Always in the dark. Good morning. It's Sunday, the 20th. So here's where we left off yesterday. See, we got the motor sitting in here to position the side mounts and the transmission mount. We got the transmission mount tacked in. The mounts for it, for the transmission cross member, is the correct, I guess, terminology. We got the mounts for the cross member tacked in. Motor mounts are sitting here, but as you can see from the top, they don't look that bad. But when you look down the side, you see there's a huge gap. See here? There's about a 3/8 inch gap between the mount and the frame member. So we're going to try and make that a lot better. I'm going to try and scribe that so that it fits a lot better for welding and everything else. That's not acceptable the way it is. The other side's not quite that bad, but it's very similar. So we're going to try and whittle those so that they fit the frame a whole bunch better. Okay, that's the next step. There's a local show happening today called Friendship Day, and I'm planning on going to that. So hopefully we'll continue with this later on this afternoon or tomorrow, and we'll keep you informed if and when we do. You see, we took the original mounts out because now we have the rear transmission cross member holding up the back of this assembly. All right, more later. Bye. Well, now, that's better. 2 out of 3 places at least. There it's better. That was about a 3/8 inch gap. That was a similar gap. And that's a mistake. That was tight. And that's a rookie mistake. Because you see the direction we're going here. We're coming this way. So that means on that edge, we're not going that way. So you don't need to cut anything there, which I did. I cut about strong 1/8, almost 3/16 off of that edge. And that left me with the gap that you see there. So I'm thinking when my son, the welder, comes over, he's probably going to want to put some material back on there. Maybe weld a little strip back on there to fill that in. I don't think he's going to want to try and weld up that gap. So now I know on the other side, this side, you see how nice and tight that fits right there, right here? So I won't take anything off of that until I start moving it this way and find out that I need to, moving it this way and find out that I need to take something off. You can see the gap down here. There, see? Is that, it's not as big on this side. The other side, no, it is. It's sizable here too. It's sizable here too. It's almost 3/8 of an inch on this side too. Anyway, so we'll chase that one next, but I won't take anything off that front leaf. And until I start moving it forward and moving it to the side and find out that I need to take something off of it. Live and learn. Bye. Okay, so taking the amount off of here, off of the front here, that it needs to come forward to close that gap, and nothing off of that face. You see what happens here. It still doesn't come forward. It can't come forward because it's contacting the frame right there. Okay. Now obviously, since this is at an angle, if I take that amount off, the straightforward amount on that angle, it's going to be too much. So it's anybody's guess what ratio that angle is to, it might be 45 degrees. Which would be that 1:1 ratio somehow or other. So if I took a quarter off of there and I took an eighth off of the other, I'm going to be in that range probably. So I'm just going to take a real small bite off of it and put it back on there and then judge from that. From if I take an eighth off and it gives me half, then I know I need to take another eighth. Here goes. Okay, so this is where we ended up. It's Sunday evening. And this is our progress for the weekend. You see the motor now is totally supported by the new mounts. They're not fully welded in yet, but they're attached enough to hold up the motor. The transmission cross member is attached in the underneath. It's only tacked in, but again enough to hold up the motor. And the side mounts are tacked in also. See, it was we had to kind of custom fit these to the frame because they didn't fit very well. Both sides. This side's welded in a lot more permanent. This one side's got a permanent weld on it, and then a tack over here on the top, I think. Yeah, tack here, and it's welded down that side permanently. So there we are. I'd say that's, and then obviously the frame got patched down over here where the bracket goes for the clutch cross shaft. And we patched a whole bunch of holes along the length of the frame. So now these mounts back here, these horns that stick out, those are going to get cut off. That's the old mounts for the backside of the motor. They go on those kind of bell housing. You see the bell housing's got an angle piece hanging out there. Those mounts attached to the frame there, those things sticking out the side of the frame, they're welded on there, but they're going to get cut off on both sides. So that's one of my next projects. Get it up in the air and start whittling those, and then we can once I get them cut off, then we'll do the final cleanup on the frame, you know, where we actually cut the welds, grind them flat, and do a little filling that we need to do. Eventually, we'll be doing a bunch of patching here too, filling holes that are no longer needed here also. So, like I said, I'm quite happy with that progress this weekend. It's been a long time coming, but hopefully we can keep it going. All right, again, thanks. As always, thanks for watching. Bye.